So once again, welcome you all to this great masterclass on Security Operations Center. So let me just introduce you to myself. So myself Chirag Suvarna, and these are the let me just give you a brief introduction about me. So currently at CyberSapiens, I work as a senior security analyst, and I'm a certified ethical hacker and CSA, that is the certified SOC analyst. And I officially hold two different certifications. So one is from Splunk Educations and one is from the IBM QRadar. So the certification I hold from Splunk is the Splunk Core Certified User, and from IBM, that is QRadar SIM certified. And other than SOC and VAPT, I also hold expertise in cloud, specifically on AWS services. So I'm also an AWS cloud pen testing certified. And apart from these, I provide training and mentorship to various interns, the batches that we had with respect to cybersecurity. And also, with regard to security consultant, it's like we go and work with various client projects. We, try to identify various vulnerabilities on our client infrastructure, and we assist them, in order to fix the issues so that they are, free from the future cyber attacks. So we also work here as a security consultant. So that's a very brief introduction about myself. So let's just talk a bit about our company, CyberSapiens. So who exactly are we? So we are the cybersecurity experts. So we have a very strong commitment where, we are into securing the digital world. So that's our main agenda. And the location. So here, we are currently at Bangalore, and then we also are located in Bangalore, and Melbourne City, that is in Australia, and Ontario, that is in Canada. So let's talk something about the services that we provide for various businesses. So the first service is about the ISO 27001 certification. So we are ISO certified company, and we make sure that we work on various, our different client projects. We work on various with respect to with different organizations, and we'll make sure that the company is also ISO certified by providing the necessary requirements and assistance that the company need. And the other type of service that we have is with regard to VAPT. So in VAPT, we have network VAPT, we have web application VAPT as a service, we have mobile application VAPT, we have API VAPT, we have cloud VAPT, and apart from these services, we also provide some other more, some more services, that is like infrastructure VAPT. We have IoT security testing, we have thick and thin client, security testing. Then we also provide services like SOC and malware analysis. So SOC, that is the important, and that's the main topic for today's masterclass. So we'll go in very as detail as possible in the further, the slides. And apart from SOC and malware analysis, we also provide GRC service. Then we also have another service called as phishing as well as the malware simulations. So this is where we would like to introduce you to our phishing tool, that is our main product, PhishCare. Okay, so in PhishCare, this is the main tool that we use to provide phishing simulations to our respective clients. It's not just about providing phishing simulation. We are going to provide them assistance. We will provide them phishing assessment, and not just that, we will also, assist and help them in securing the respective organizations. We do perform phishing simulation on the employees of various organizations. So based on the impact or the outcome that we get, we are going to provide them necessary remediation so that the company is secure from the future phishing attacks. So that's what we provide, and this is the tool that we use. And apart from this, we also have cybersecurity training and employee awareness sessions. We do conduct awareness programs for various schools, colleges, and working organizations. We provide it, for even for working professionals. We provide employee awareness program as well as the cybersecurity training. Okay, it's not just for the students or college students. Even working professionals are also free to join our cybersecurity training program. So further, if you want to know more about our company or the respective services that we provide here at CyberSapiens, please check out with this particular link, or you can also scan the QR code to know more in detail about our company and the respective services that we provide. So without wasting any further time, let's just get into the main aspect of today's masterclass, that is the path to cyber defense. So mastering the SOC operations. So let's look at the agenda that we are going to cover today in, discuss and cover in today's webinar. So the first thing that we are going to understand what exactly is a SOC, why do we need SOC, and what are the main purpose of having a SOC. Then we will understand about having or building a very strong cyber defense. What are the core, features that we require to build a strong defense team? Then we will discuss about the various SOC staffing models, and then the key components of SOC, how exactly incident detection and response, the entire life cycle of this phase works. Then we are going to discuss about the SOC hierarchy as well as the career insights. But before going to the career insights, we are also going to see a practical understanding of how exactly a SOC analyst, a day in a life of a SOC analyst actually goes on by having a practical hands-on. So that is our agenda for today's masterclass. So we will take it step by step. So before understanding what is SOC, we need to understand why do we need SOC. So that's very important. So when we discuss about why do we need SOC, now we need to understand the severeness of the cyber attack that takes place. Okay. Now every second the cyber attack is going on. It could be a malware based attack or maybe a ransom, specific to a ransomware attack. Now we do not know what type of attack is going on across the world. So for this to understand, what type of attacks are going on every second and what could be the statistics. So let me just take you all to a statistics page. So first of all, let's have a look at the live cyber threat map that we have. So if you notice here, the attack count keeps on increasing. So this is for this particular day that we have. You can see the attack keeps on going from one country to another country. It's like there is no break, there is no pause on the attack. Specifically when it comes to cyber attacks, from one country people are trying to target another country. They are going to perform multiple attacks on various sectors. It could be, now the attacks can differ. It can be a part of phishing attack, it can be a part of your malware attack, it can be any other attack forms as well. So we cannot specify the attack here, but the range or the severeness that these attacks go on every day, okay, that is what makes the cyber attack too dangerous in today's generation, because we have the technology, we are dependent on technology. That is one part of it, but on the other end, if we see, these technologies are also driven to multiple vulnerabilities, and those vulnerabilities are something where the attackers misuse those, and this is how we could see cyber attacks in at a huge count in today's day is what I can say. So to cover this cyber threat map, I would also like to show you a brief idea about the statistics that we have from Cobalt. Okay, so according to Cobalt, now if you just scroll down here, we have the cost and the frequency of the cyber attack that actually takes place. So there is a specific estimation, so up to 10.5 trillion. So this is the financial loss that cyber crime has costed by, this is like an approx range for within 2025 that we have. Okay, so now we can imagine now how severe the cyber attack would be, what could be the global damage it can cause, and how it can grow. Even if you come scroll down and if you just check the ransomware statistics, you can see that globally 72.7% of all the organizations are the victim of ransomware attacks. So if you remember the first ransomware attack that took place, that is the WannaCry ransomware, which was in the year 2017, right? So if you just open this statistic over here, now this statistic is going to give you the details like ransomware. It's not just about WannaCry ransomware. It might have started in 2017, but from 2017, you could see the impact. This statistics is up to 2023 and the 2024 is yet to be updated, but still now we are in the December. Now by end of this December, again this 2024 statistics also will be updated. But what I'm trying to tell is the impact that these type of attacks can cause. Now ransomware is not just a very simple malware that you need to underestimate it. There are a lot of impacts that ransomware can create. So one devastating experience we have already seen when with respect to your WannaCry ransomware, right? So these statistics are very important. It tells us the severeness that these cyber attacks can take place. So if you want to tackle all these aspects, maybe any sort of cyber attack, maybe a phishing attack, maybe a ransomware attack, or maybe a cyber attack, it can be country to country, people are targeting each other, it can be individual wise, right? So the agenda could be different, but you need something to monitor these aspects. You need some team, you need some people, you need a particular infrastructure which can control this approach. So that is where we come to a concept of security operations center. So in Security Operations Center, we have huge number of concepts like continuous monitoring, centralized visibilities, reduced cybersecurity cost, and better collaboration. No need to understand it here. We'll again start it from the scratch, but you need to understand why do we need the Security Operations Center, because we need such kind of proactive defense in almost all the sectors. There is no limit for sector as well. You need it in healthcare sector, you need in defense sector, you need in finance sector, even in manufacturing sector. Every sector that you go, you need a backbone, because Security Operations Center is itself considered as the backbone of your entire cybersecurity domain. Okay, which means you can imagine the impact, how severe it is when we consider about the cyber crimes, and we need a strong defensive system. That is where we have Security Operations Center. So now, since we have understood why do we need SOC, let's now understand what exactly is a SOC. So SOC mainly stands for your Security Operations Center. So this is one such unit that we have, which helps you to monitor. It is something that you can monitor. This is a centralized unit that you have in the cybersecurity team. So their work is to monitor, their work is to detect, analyze, and also respond to the various cybersecurity incident that happens within. It can be the pre-data, or it can be the real-time based data. But this team is going to act as a centralized platform to performs these type of activities. So that is a very simple and simple way of explaining the Security Operations Center. And if we have to understand the key feature of the Security Operations Centers, then we have something called as 24/7 monitoring. It's specifically designed to ensure that you have constant monitoring on the entire IT infrastructure. So if you have to continuously monitor the activity that takes place within the IT infrastructure, then you definitely need a SOC team for that, because they have the potential to handle, and they have sophisticated tools and technology which will do the job for them. Okay, so that's the best benefit that we have when it comes to Security Operations Center. Likewise, even this already we can consider this as a centralized security. So centralized security in the sense, if you have to monitor any sort of maybe threat detection or any sort of response part of activities, then again you need Security Operations Center. And likewise, this is considered as one of the best proactive defense that you have. No matter what type of attack you're going through or your organization is facing, this Security Operations Center is going to be the best defense team to tackle these issues. Fine. So we understood why do we need SOC. We understood why do know what is SOC. So let's understand now about the purpose of having the SOC team. Now, SOC team within itself has a huge number of purposes. So the first purpose that we have is the real-time monitoring. So what real-time monitoring in the sense, if you have to oversee the entire maybe the endpoint. Now it depends from where you're getting the logs. It can be from an endpoint devices, it could be from your firewalls, it can be from your network devices. So it depends from where exactly you're getting the logs. So if we consider as a part of your organization, so you need to monitor what exactly is going on in that particular infrastructure. Now, humanly, it's not possible for you to sit and monitor the real-time based data. Just consider a network. Now, network, every second the traffic keeps changing. So you cannot sit and analyze each and every log manually. It's humanly impossible. So you need a team that is going to handle. So that's where SOC is going to play a very major role. Like I already said in the previous slide, if you have to monitor the entire IT infrastructure, then definitely you need SOC. So that is the main purpose of performing the real-time monitoring. And after real-time monitoring, we have proactive rapid threat detection. So proactive rapid threat in the sense, if you detect any suspicious activities or any vulnerabilities or any no, potential breach, we call this as IOA and IOC, that is indicator of attack and the indicator of compromise. So these are the two main terms that we use specifically in this particular domain. Any such activities are detected using a specific tool. Now, the tool section, we will discuss it separately. You have a number of tools, which is going to tackle this issue. So that is the second main purpose that we have in this SOC team. And the third part is the incident response. So when it comes to incident response, so what do you mean by incident? Incident is any suspicious activity that has affected your organization. And what do you mean by response? How quickly you respond to this particular incident and how quickly your team is in a position to fix the issue. So that entire process itself is called as your incident response. So SOC is again known for that. And then we have something called as forensic investigation analysis. Yes, it is true that SOC team is again very closely connected with your forensics team, because it's not just for real-time monitoring. Just because we have mentioned in the very first point saying real-time monitoring, SOC is not limited to real-time monitoring. Other than real-time monitoring, you can perform various activities. Let's say the attack has already taken place to an organization. So how will you analyze the issue? What will you do? What will be your team's approach? Then we need a forensic investigation. Again, you have SOC team for that. Now, this we call it as a root cause analysis or the post incident analysis. So here it's like whatever the first of all you have to integrate the agents to the respective let's take an example. There's an attack on a particular network, okay, networks infrastructure, and you need to first collect the data. How are you going to collect the data? You have various agents. So you have to first deploy the agent on that particular server or database, whatever it is. From there, you need to extract the log. And once you get that log, then you have to start performing the analysis. Okay. That's how forensic investigation analysis is also one of the purpose of your SOC team. And after forensic investigation analysis, we have something called centralized management. So centralized management in the sense we have something called as SIM. So what is SIM we will discuss in the next slide, but I just want to give a just high level overview, basically if you have a centralized management. So in centralized management, it's like whenever you have to integrate the log from multiple sources. Now depends from where you're getting the log, you need to manage it somewhere, right? Now if you have a huge infrastructure and if you cannot go physically and collect the logs, that is not possible. You need a centralized server where the centralized server will be having the potential to grab logs from each and every sector, which means that each and every endpoints, maybe an application, maybe a router, maybe a switch, no matter from where you want to extract the logs, you can easily do that by sitting at one particular place. So that's why SOC is something which where it is going to act as a centralized management platform for us. Again, one of the best feature that we have inside SOC. And then regulatory compliance. When we speak about compliance, there is no limitation. It's not just for SOC team. No matter if you are in a VAPT domain or maybe in a GRC domain, cloud domain, doesn't matter. Compliance is very important. Compliance is it's like a heart, okay, because you need every aspect. It's not just you just take the projects from a client, or when you are performing auditing on a particular client's infrastructure, you might get the result, you might perform testing, but if your report doesn't contain the compliance part, compliance in the sense you have various auditing part, like you have PCI DSS, HIPAA, then you have GDPR. So these are various standards, regulatory standards, what we call. So these standards are very, very important, no matter what type of testing that you're performing on the infrastructure. So it's very important for you, your report containing the compliance part as well. So again, SOC will fulfill the requirement for you. So that's the main part, where we discussed about the purpose of having the SOC team. Now let's go much more deeper into understanding the SOC. So that is where we come into building a strong cyber defense. Okay, so now we have discussed so far, understanding the purpose of SOC, everything is clear now. We came to know about the purposes of SOC, fine. But what is the core of SOC? How exactly the core functionality of the SOC actually runs? That we need to understand. So when we speak about the core functionality of the SOC, it is broadly classified into three types. Everything so far, whatever we discussed, is controlled by three main parts. So the first thing comes is the people. Very, very important. We do need a people in the sense the team that you have. We'll discuss this in the next slide in much more detailed way. And the second part that we require is the processes. And then we need technology. So this people, process, and technology are the core functionality that you require to handle your SOC team. If any one of them is missing, then you will not be able to control your SOC team. That's not at all possible, because these three are the main pillars of your SOC team. So let's discuss about them in a bit detailed way. You just focus on the people part for now. So in people, you can notice that we have roles, you have tiers, levels, services, FTE count, right? So this is basically the team hierarchy. So in team hierarchy, it's like, we do consider human element as one of the core feature that we have inside SOC, okay? Because we need skilled professionals. Skilled professionals are those people, who are going to operate, who are going to manage the entire security infrastructure. Not just that, they are those people who are going to respond to your various incidents, or maybe continuously monitoring, right? So the team contribution is very, very important. So that's the first part. After team, we have something called as processes. So in processes, you might have use case management, detection. So no need to understand all those things. This might complicate the uh, understanding. But what I would like to tell is that processes are basically, whenever let's consider that we have some essential part that needs to be controlled. So as a SOC team, if you have to respond to a specific incident or anything, it could be, you need a particular strategy. Maybe you need a particular framework that will handle things, or you need to understand the incident response life cycle, or even it can be, if you have to escalate a particular incident, or if you have to improvise, maybe if you have to go through the threat modeling concept. So all these things, not just that, even if you get any sort of logs, if you have to set an alert. Now, alert setting is also very important. We call this as an alert management process. So everything, incident responding and alert management, updating your entire infrastructure, creating a playbooks, everything is a part of your processes. Okay, so you need something which will be able to help you in performing the investigation or root cause analysis. So the process will be a part of that. So we understood people, we understood process, then comes the technology part. So you can see few of the terms here like SIEM, EDR, SOAR, NDR, right? So what exactly is this? So these are the main core components of this SOC. Okay, so without these components, the processes cannot be implemented. If you don't have the processes, then the team cannot work on that. So everything is interlinked linked to each other. So that's the main part of your SOC operations. So people, process, and technology are the main core part of your SOC. Okay. So since we already discussed about the technology part, so I would like to go much more detailed into the technology aspects, because these are the core parts that you need to understand before it could be understanding the career perspectives or whatever it is. If you don't understand the basics of SOC, then it's very it can be a challenge for you to get into this sector. So that's the reason we are covering these aspects. So let's understand now the SOC staffing models. So when we discuss about the SOC staffing models, we have to understand few parts here. So the first type of staffing model that we have is the in-house SOC team. So what do we mean by in-house SOC team? So when we speak about an in-house SOC team, it's like you consider you have an organization, or we will take CyberSapiens as an organization. So CyberSapiens has their own in-house SOC team, which means that they have their own team. They have their own tools, they have their own processes, which means that everything is controlled within the organization itself. So which means that this entire setup is managed within us. Now the thing is, the advantage that you have here when you have an in-house SOC team, first of all, you have a fully trained employees. Your team is so strong, you have a very trained employees. Now second aspect is the server that you host, the same setup or the centralized servers. Now, there are two ways of doing this. Either you can keep it on site physically, or you can do it on the cloud virtually. So, but most preferable option is the cloud compared to the issues that it creates. So, cloud is the best option, but this is another thing. But there is one disadvantage when it comes to in-house SOC team. The best and the very best disadvantage is what I can say is the cost. It's very expensive, when you have to manage the things, when you have to train your employees and have your own infrastructure, then it's very cost consuming, right? So that means that this is one disadvantage that we have for in-house SOC team. So to overcome this issue, we have something called as outsourced SOC. So what is outsourced? You are outsourcing the entire your clients, or maybe whatever it is, to your third party. So here the concept comes as MSSP. MSSP stands for Managed Security Service Provider. So who is an MSSP? Which means that we will take two different companies, company A and company B. So when we speak about company A has a lot of issues. They don't have that much of budget where they can invest on the particular solutions. So there is a problem for them. So what they can do now, but they do have their clients, they do get projects. What they can do, they can easily outsource this to someone else, which means that initially company A and company B is going to sign up with a contract. Now the company B is that particular company where they have their own SOC infrastructure, but they lack in some of the resources, right? So what they do, there's a collaboration now. So the team A is going to completely share their resources or the clients to company B. Company B is going to work on behalf of company A, and then they have to report it back to the company A. So this is how outsourced SOC team works. And in collaboration with this, we have something called as a hybrid SOC. So in hybrid SOC, it's like a combination of your in-house SOC team as well as your outsourced SOC team. So it's like, you have everything. Now, when we speak about the characteristics, if you have to maintain great control, it's like both the teams are going to work side by side. Let's say that, company A and company B are in collaboration, and company A is going to manage some of the critical aspects. Now, there are few things which company A do not want to share it with company B. So the major part of the thing what company A needs to handle will be handled by, you know, your team A. Okay. Whereas few of the aspects, maybe, monitoring for 24/7 or setting up an alert or setting up an alert triage. So all these will be handed over to your team B. So it's like collaboration. So both the teams will be working side by side. But in outsourced SOC, it's a bit different. Most of the work will be done by the vendor that to whom you outsource the project. So that's the difference between your outsourced SOC and the hybrid SOC. And after hybrid SOC, we have global SOC. So when we speak about the global SOC, it's like, globally, you are going to provide the SOC operations to entire global region. It's like 24/7, it keeps on running. Now you can reduce the downtime here. So that's like global. Rest the process exactly works the same, but globally you can, give your SOC service. So that is the global SOC. Then you have virtual SOC. So there is no physical dependencies here. You don't have anything that you can say something that you have kept in the physical location. Everything will be managed in the cloud. Okay. So one thing is you can reduce cost. Then if you have a team who are working on a remote location and all, then it's very easy for them to handle this type of virtual SOC. So this is another type how you can deploy this SOC. And the last thing is the co-managed SOC. So co-managed SOC is it's like a security model where you have a partnership with your external vendor, and but the thing is that you should have a very good collaboration. You have to. It's like a shared responsibility model. 50% of the aspect will be covered by the one who provides the project, and 50% will be somewhere it will be handled by the person who is working on that project. So it's like equally shared between the client. So the best part is there's a collaboration. Now the skill set can be from one team, but the tool usage is from the another team. It's like completely divided among themselves. But the problem here is that the communication skill. You should be very good at communicating. If there's a communication gap in between the two teams, then this particular approach may not be working. So that's the main part of your SOC staffing models. Okay. Now let's discuss about the key main components that we need to understand when it comes to having the security operations center. So the first key component is the SIEM. So SIEM, I have already given an overview of what exactly SIEM. So SIEM stands for Security Information and Event Management. So when it comes to SIEM, no, it is considered as one of the centralized hub for your SOC. So don't get confused. I already said that for an cybersecurity domain, SOC is the backbone. But for an SOC or the SOC team, SIEM is the backbone. Okay, which means that SIEM is the one such platform where everything will be managed. You can see on the right image, you can see log collection, log processing, storage, querying, correlation, dashboards, alerts, incident management. So it's like everywhere you can perform a lot of activities. Like you can first of all aggregate the logs from various different sources. From the IT infrastructure, you can perform real-time monitoring. Not just that, you have other core functions as well. You can perform data aggregation part. You can go for correlation in the sense you are going to correlate between the two different events, like depending on the suspicious activity that you have detected. And you can also set up an alert. What do you mean by setting up an alert? It's not like for every single log that you receive you are going to get an alert. Not possible. Depending upon what is your criteria. I mean, what is your requirement? According to that, you need to set up the log. Okay, and that log you need to set. You have to set an alert for that, and once the activity gets triggered, then you are going to notice the alert over there. These all aspects we will be seeing practically as well, so no need to worry on that part. Everything will be covered. And another aspect would be visualization. So why did I mention the concept of visualization is that the data that you get. Okay, so there's one challenge in SOC team is that the SOC team faces, especially the ones who enter to this particular domain, is that whenever they're handling the logs, so it's not that easy to handle the logs, because once you get the logs, everything will be in the raw format, which means that it's very challenging for you to first of all understand what exactly is present inside that log set. So this is one of the common and major challenge most of the beginners face in this particular domain. So to overcome that, there are specialized tools. We have Splunk, QRadar, Sentinel, ArcSight. There are many types of tools designed for these aspects. Whenever you get any sort of logs, you have to merge, or you have to customize your log in such a way that it has to be converted into a set of visualizations that will help you to detect not just you may be technically sound person, but the person who is not technically sound, even he needs to understand what exactly is going on. At least some core aspects need to be clear from that part. That's why if you have a proper visualization for the data that you have, then definitely it's like you're going to give a much value to the testing that you have done. So that's why visualization is also core and important part that is also covered in the SIEM aspects. Okay, and the second important thing would be log management. So what is log management? So whenever we talk about log management, it's like the process where you're going to collect the log, you're going to store the log, and then you're going to segregate these logs. It could be from various endpoint devices, it doesn't matter, but you have to follow these process: collecting, then you're going to store the log, and then you're going to manage this particular log. So this entire process of managing the log itself is called as log management processes. Now the question might come, why do we have to do log management? Is it actually necessary? Yes, it is necessary, because if you have to perform audit trial for your compliance purpose, then you need these type of logs. We have three types of storages when we discuss about the logs. We have hot storage, we have cold storage, and two types, right? The hot and the hot, warm, and cold storage. So in hot storage, it's like the live data that you're currently working, so that is called as the hot storage. Warm data in the sense, maybe past 1 month or maybe past 6 months of the data, so those are called warm storage. When it comes to cold storage, it might be a year ago data, maybe 2 years back, 3 years back, so those are the archived data. It can be stored in the software as well, so that process we call it as log retention, but still that cold storage data can also be extracted. So again, log manage is somewhere interlinked to that as well. So even for your forensic analysis part, sometimes what happens, you might be working on a very fresh case, but you might require to refer the previous attack data. Yes, this is possible, because it's not that because every now and then attack keeps changing. The attacker might use one strategy today, doesn't mean that he must be following the same strategy tomorrow. It's not at all necessary, because every time strategy keeps changing, so at that time they might require, it can be used as a reference. For that purpose, again, log management is very, very important. Okay, so these are the few things that we need to understand. And specifically when we discuss about the log management process, again, we have tools as well for that. You have Greylog. Greylog is specifically known for log management. You have logarithm softwares, etc. So these softwares are really going to help you out when it comes to performing the log management part. Okay, now we understood SIEM, we understood log management. The next important part you need to understand is regarding to log parsing. I already gave an idea about this. You can see the image, and some may be able to relate it. I already discussed something about raw data and the structured data. So whenever you get the raw data, okay, so you can see the top of the log, what you see, okay, this particular thing, what you see is the raw data. So lot of issues are that you will not be able to understand anything, because initially when you generate the log, now you have multiple endpoint devices here. You could collect the data from any of the endpoint devices using the agents. Okay, only if you're taking it from your own particular devices, then you don't need the agents. Otherwise, you require an agent. You have multiple agents for that. You can use syslogs if you are extracting it from the remote Windows machine, or you can use universal forwarder. So these will act as an agents for you if you want to take the data from the remote machine. So that's a different concept. But once you get the log will be completely in the raw format. You will not be able to understand anything. So to change the log, raw log into a more structured format, like whatever you see at the very bottom, right? You can see now the above log has been completely, converted it into a structured format. Now you are able to see the details. You are able to see the timestamp. You are able to see the level, the component, the log template, the parameters. Looks very structured. And now this becomes easier for you to analyze the things. Still, if you are representing this data for a non-technical person, then again, you can add visualizations to your data, which makes even a non-technical guy understand what exactly is going on. So that's the main concept of log parsing, nothing else. After log parsing, we need to understand about the log indexing part. So what exactly is log indexing? So, when it comes to log indexing, you have to first organize the data. Again, that is a part of you as a SOC analyst. So you might have received the logs. Okay, you might think that sir has told something about log, parsing. So once we parse the log, automatically we are going to get the structured data in a structured format. No, you have to also index it. So you have a lot of indexes inbuilt within these particular softwares, but still if you have to organize it in such a way that, or else what happens when you try to, filter out the data or the results that you have, it becomes complicated. The search timing might increase because if I have to give an example of your Splunk software is specifically for the SPLs, right? So that SPL software is going to again detect what exactly you're trying to do here. So for that purpose, you have to reduce the effort that whenever you're handling huge set of data. That is where log indexing comes. I'll show you one example. If you see the first unordered table, you can see we have few of the logs that we have got. Few are related to warning, few are error messages, and few are warning related messages, right? So these are not in an ordered format. Warning is somewhere, error is somewhere, and right. So we need to segregate the things. So if you have to segregate the things, then when you perform log indexing, this is how you can segregate the things. Okay, you can see now everything has been kept in ordered. So the warning, in the sense the priority, the log which is at priority is kept on the top part. Okay, so that's how the ordered table has been kept here. Likewise, second priority is the error messages. Okay, this can be related to your software that is working, or maybe some changes related to your software. So those comes as a part of your error messages, which is kept at next priority. That is the second priority. Not too risky, but not too low as well. And then we have messages. So these are the normal messages that you get as a part of notification. So all those can be focused in the third part. So this is how log indexing will be helpful. Okay, and this is very important, specifically when you're working in such kind of infrastructure, or it can be a production environment, and you need to handle multiple things at once. You might have to handle 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 servers at once. Now the same concept will not work. You have to go to SOAR. So SOAR, in the sense, it stands for security, orchestration, automation, and the response. SOAR. So it's like all the activities. Now there are a lot of activities that you might encounter, where you have to go keep on doing this repeatedly. Maybe generating an alert. Today you might generate alert for one set of log. Tomorrow you might have to generate it for second set of log, right? So it's very time consuming. So this can be automated. You can set your own filters manually, but if it is a production environment, best way is to automate the process. It will reduce your work. Playbook management comes there. Then if you have to manage regarding to vulnerabilities, I mean to say that this scanning that you do on the vulnerability part. So already network VAPT session related to network has been done. If not, you can go back and watch our other set of webinars where network also has been covered. There the things have been explained, but still, as a part of vulnerability management or the scanning parts, again SOAR is going to play a main role. And again, you have to generate case every now and then. You have to create your own case management, or you can also take the use cases as your own references. That can also be done. So again, case management is something that comes into picture. And threat intel. So threat intel feeds are the attack vector or the attack set of data. Okay, so that is where we have something called as MITRE attack framework. So just to clear your confusion, I'll just show what MITRE attack framework is. So your MITRE attack frameworks look something like this. Okay, so you can just type this URL https attack.mita.org. So this is the entire framework. So this is the threat intel feed that even SOC team is going to do. You have multiple attack vectors here like recon, initial access, execution, right? So depending on the attack and the framework that we have, you can just go to any of the attack vectors, and that attack vector will be having a specific description. Okay, now you may not be understanding all of these aspects, but still try to understand at least what I'm trying to cover at a basic level. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell is these attack vectors are something that is going to act as a reference for you, okay, for an analyst, and according to that they are going to work on various factors. Maybe a particular attack, it can be a account reconnaissance part, or maybe some execution, or privilege escalation attack. So according to these, you will be having this respective options from where you can select the thing. So that is one example for having the SOAR as well. Again, SOAR is going to entirely automate the process for you. Okay. Now let's talk about the incident detection and response lifecycle. So in incident detection and response lifecycle, actually it's broadly classified into two different types. One is the proactive capabilities and the responsive capabilities. So in the proactive capabilities, the first thing comes is the preparation part. So in it's very important for you to design the plan that you're doing. You have to create certain guidelines as that is going to help you in simulating the process. So that is where the preparation part, how strong is your team and what is the preparation that you have done. Then comes the detection part. So in detection part is like, you have to apply various, threat intel strategies, or if you have to perform some cyber related, monitoring, real-time monitoring, or if you have to trace some suspicious pattern, or the behavioral analysis, what we call. Again, all this comes as a part of your detection phase. Then you have to go for analysis part. So analysis is in the, everything. Once you detect the log, what kind of testing that you have to do, based on what is your parameter that you're looking for, what is your priority setting. So according to that, you have to start performing your root cause analysis. If it is for brute force attack, you have to not focus on other aspects. You just have to focus on the brute force part. So in brute force part, keep on working what exactly is the log that you have got, where we can find the indicator of attack or the indicator of compromise. So that you have to analyze using the log. So everything comes as a part of your analysis part. Even it can be for a malware as well. And likewise, we have in responsive capabilities, that is the containment phase. So in containment phase, best example would be malware. Understand that you have got a malware sample, you have got a logs, and you have detected a malware. So how are you going to stop this malware? You have to first contain that malware, right? So that it doesn't again further spread and infect the other parts of your network or the infrastructure. So that containment phase is also important. And after containment, you have to eradicate that malware, find the root cause of the malware, and completely remove this malware from the, the it can be a particular setup, maybe a network or maybe a database. You have to eradicate this malware. And then comes is the recovery part. So as much as possible, you have to recover the data that you have got, or it can be lost. So this is like a part of your forensic investigation. So here everything, the recovery phase comes into picture. So entire this incident detection and response, it has to be very fast, which means that you need a skill set of experts here. Okay, no, very quick preparation should be there. You have to use your brain. You have to use according to your brain, according to your skill set. You have to use the tool, because tool is automated, it's just human created, right? You cannot depend on the tool to do the work. Yes, we know that most of the tool work will be done by 70% of the work will be done by the software, agreed, but unless and until your skill set doesn't work here, these things may not work out in the real-time setup. So your skill set also matters, and then how you use the tool as well. Okay, if you use a very basic strategy, then the tool might take a lot of time to tackle the issue. So that doesn't happen in the production environment. So you need to use your skill set, you need to use the specific tool, and then you have to detect the issue, perform good analysis, find out the malware, or perform a containment strategies, eradicate the malware, and recover the issue. So that's the incident detection and response life cycle. So let's just talk something about the SOC team hierarchy. Okay, so we have different types, like we have tier 1 analyst. So tier 1 analyst or the tries, so the SOC analyst. So they are the level 1 analyst. Now their job is to perform monitoring activities, just to monitor and to escalate the issues. So basic incidents will also be handled by them. It's not that level 1 analysts are only designed to monitor the logs. No, if it is a basic incident, they are also free to work on that. Sometimes what happens, they will not be able to handle the incident. At that time they will escalate it into tier 2 analysts, that is the a bit higher and skilled professionals. Now their work is to just not just monitor the logs. So their work will be like even to look into the issue, the escalation, whatever has been done by the level 2 analyst, maybe reviewing the logs, or maybe if they have to focus on a specific part of the log that they have escalated, or system restoration part, all these will be a part of your tier 2 analyst. Okay, and after tier 2 we have, let's say even tier 2 analyst is not able to solve the issues, then it has to go to the tier 3 analyst. These are the threat hunting experts, which means that they have the skill set of both offensive as well as defensive strategies. Both are within them, so they are the people who will be working on tier 3 part. Okay, and likewise, we have the security engineer. So these tier 3, that is the SOC lead and security engineer, they will be all in the part of tier 3. And then we have someone who can control this entire operation as a SOC manager. Now this hierarchy can totally differ. Okay, now we cannot give you an guarantee of how it's going to work the same way. Why I'm telling is that you can understand it from here. So when we speak about the management roles, we have CISO and the SOC manager. CISO will be the final one to take the decision, and below to him we have SOC manager who will handle the entire operations. So when it comes to and we also have a coordinator here, but when it comes to technical roles, we have three: tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. Just now I explained the roles. Okay, and these are the additional teams. Now these malware analyst, forensic specialist, and other options that you see, it's not mandatory that you should have the same kind of setup, because sometimes even tier 1 analyst and tier 2 analyst, okay, only these two levels of analyst will be there. Okay, some of the small scale companies, they will not be able to hire everyone. So at that point of time, if the security incident takes place, then only tier 2 analyst has to take the initiative and he has to work on that. Okay, so there is no limit for that. It can change. It can be a huge infrastructure. It can be a small infrastructure. That depends. Okay. And then we have consulting roles. So in consulting roles, we have a consultant who is going to deal with the projects and everything, and then the architect part. Okay. So that's a basic team hierarchy. The reason I showed this, don't stick to this hierarchy. This hierarchy can be, flexible. Okay. Depending on the, company that you're working for. And then let's talk something about the skill sets that a SOC team, the people working in a SOC domain requires. So first is the technical skills. Very important is to understand the CIA part, that is the fundamentals of cybersecurity. So they need to understand what confidentiality is, what integrity is, what availability is. So all these things should be clear for an SOC analyst. Then they need to understand about the network. See, network is going to act as a base for this security operation center. So when it comes to networking, you need to understand some basic idea about the different networking setups. Like you have TCP. What is TCP? What is UDP? What is this DHCP? And how these other protocols like HTTP, FTP, SSH, Telnet, how these type of protocols actually work. So understanding about network and networking devices are very important. Not just that, you should be knowing how to do packet analysis when it comes to Wireshark. When you have to monitor the network traffic, you need that as well. And you should also have a strong understanding about the tools that you're using. It can be Splunk, it can be QRadar, it can be ArcSight, Sentinel, doesn't matter. But you should have the strong grip of the tool that you're using. You should understand how that tool functions. So according to that, you should have the skill set. And then event handling and log analysis, very, very part, because 90 to 95% of the work that you do here is on the log itself, right? So you should have that skill set. You should be able to understand the log, because every log differs. Windows log may be different from the firewall logs. So firewall logs may be different from your malware related logs, or the malware attack logs. Brute force attack logs can be different. So you, depending on the attack skill set, you should be in a position to understand what type of log you're handling and how to handle this particular incident. So that again one of the biggest skill set that a SOC analyst should possess. And then MITRE attack framework. This is a reference framework that you have to use. I have already shown this MITRE attack framework. Depending on the attack vectors and the tactics, techniques and procedures, what we call TTPs. Okay, so they need to follow that according to the attack that they come across with. Okay, so it's like a reference for them. Then incident and risk management. Incident is how quickly you are able to detect an incident based on the analysis part, and what is the risk management strategy. So, how you are going to perform a risk assessment, or how you are going to assess these vulnerabilities, how you are going to provide assessment to a particular threat that you have detected, how you can prioritize the incidents. Everything is a part of your incident and the risk management part. Okay, so these are the main technical skills that you have to possess, we should have as a SOC analyst. Then you need to also have a soft skill here. So without soft skill, things won't work out. So as a soft skill, first of all, analytical thinking. You should have a very critical thinking. You have to be very smart enough to understand the security issues and to identify the root cause analysis. You need to have an analytical thinking part, and then a problem solving skills. Because whenever sometimes what happens, you have to take very quick decisions here. Depending upon to mitigate the issue or the threat, then at that point of time, problem solving skills also is very important. And then the observational skills, even minute logs, because specifically when we are talking about a real-time analysis part, in real time what happens, every second logs keep changing. Okay, so at that point of time, your observation skills should be so sharp that you should be able to identify the indicator that you're looking for. So that is observational skills. Then communication skills, how good you are in communicating the things. This is not just for SOC, for any of the domains. You should have a very good communication skills. Then the team collaboration, you should be able to update the outcome that you have got to the respective team. You are from a SOC team, you might have to communicate some things to the VAPT team. Yes, you have to do that. You have to explain the things in such a way that the other teams are also able to collaborate with you in likewise, and they are able to understand what exactly is going on. So according to that, whatever the activity they have to do from their end, they'll be doing that. Then adaptability and resilience. So in adaptability and resilience, it's like whenever I can give you a few examples. So you need to have that time management skills as well. So because this adaptability, resilience, and time management, everything is collaborated. Because whenever you have a large scale attack, when you have to implement a incident response plan, so the time management skills also plays a very important role. How often you have to deal with an alert, how often you have to handle the incident, how you need to prioritize the task. That is also important. Otherwise, there are multiple hundreds of alerts in front of you. Which is the one that you require at the moment? That is very important to judge. So once you get that, then you are going to prioritize the incident. So that is called alert management and prioritization. Again, one of the very important parts. So that is where time management comes into picture. Then decision making skills. Okay, so you should be very good at that. Your decision should be in such a way that whenever you have a very limited amount of information, how you are going to tackle the issue and how you can take the decision. So quick decision making skills is also required, and a very good ethical mindset. So in ethical mindset is like you have to stick to your company's guidelines or ethics, what you say. According to that, you have to stick to that, and then you have to work on these aspects. So those are the main technical skills and the soft skills that you have to do if you are planning to get into security operations center. Okay, so let's talk something about the day in a life of SOC analyst, and then we'll have a practical hands-on. So whenever we speak about a day in a life of SOC analyst, first comes is the shift handover and briefing. So initially, you have to take updates from your previous shift of employees, because this is one such domain which runs 24/7, right? So here you have to first of all take the updates from your ongoing incidents or maybe alerts, and if any changes has to be done, according to that, you have to take the details. And likewise, you have to perform monitor and alert try. So being whatever the logs that you have, depending upon the impact and the severeness, you have to set the alert. That is the alert prioritization. And then you have to investigate the security incident. So I've been repeating this multiple times. Depending upon what type of log you have and what type of incident you are analyzing, start working on identifying the incident and investigating the security issues. Very, very important part. And then you have to report and document every single aspect that you do. You have tools which can do the reporting part as well, but please don't stick to the automated tools. You have to manually analyze the report as well, because sometimes, there can be few changes which you might have to implement it from your end, and it will go to your senior management as well. They will assess the report and final confirmation will be given to the report. Okay. And then shift handoff preparation. So you are going to update your work to the next person who is going to get into your shift, right? Your work is done, that particular aspect has to be handed over. You have to give the clarity what has happened in that particular day, and then they'll take over it from there. Okay. And then unplanned activity. This is one of the funny and the challenging part that you have in SOC team. Sometimes what happens, you will get such activities, suddenly you'll get an alert, or suddenly you'll be getting, an emergency where you have to patch the update. So at that time, these unplanned activities can be very stressful, but at the same time, it's challenging, fun as well. But still, this is also one of the things that normally SOC analysts do face in their life. Okay. So that's a very high level overview of what the SOC analyst does here. So we'll just get into the demo part. We'll have some hands-on. We'll understand, about the how the SOC functions work. Okay. So first of all, let me just introduce you. I'm going to use the Splunk software here. So I'll just give a clarity on what exactly I'm going to do today. There are few things which you may not be understanding. That's absolutely fine. But I'll try to show as much as practical, so that the concepts are clear to you. Okay. So I discussed many concepts. So first of all, we'll see how we can create an index, in the sense how we can extract the logs from our own devices. Now, first of all, I'll show from where exactly I'm going to take the logs. So let me just go here, go to my search, and I'm going to go for event viewer. So this event viewer is of my particular system. And if you just come here, custom Windows log, right? So under Windows log, you have applications. So the logs that you get here is from my applications. Likewise, you have the logs for your security. You can see audit success and a few of the information about the audit logs that you have, right? And then if you have to go for the setup logs, you have the information about the setup log. So whatever the information that you want, you will be getting it from the this particular Windows event viewer. So if I want to take a specific security log to my particular Splunk device, or if I have to extract all these logs to my particular device, how will I able to do that in this Splunk? So that is the question that, normally, so that is where the log collection part comes. So we can do that using Splunk. So we can just, so here we'll be going to settings and I'll click on add data. So in this particular software, we have options where we can import the logs from our own devices or remote devices, or even if you have to monitor a specific directory, we can do that. So if you see below, we have three options. We have upload, monitor, and forward. If you have to take the log from any of the remote machines, then you have to use a forwarder or an agent. That's a different approach. If you have any pre-built data sets or pre-built log files, then we can choose the first option. But we are directly taking the logs, as and when it gets generated. So we'll be going for the monitoring option. So here in monitoring option, you can see from where we can collect the logs. There are n number of options. We have a local event, remote event. If you have to collect it from the remote sources, we have from files and directories, active directories, and many other options are there. So we are interested in local event logs. So I'll just click on local event logs. And here you can see the same option what you were able to see here, the same option can be, noticed here as well. So which means that you have to integrate this software in such a way that it is completely connected with your system. So that's a specialty. That's why we call SIEM as a centralized hub. So everything can be shown over here. So I'll just take security for this particular thing. So I just see, security has been selected, and we'll just proceed next. So here we'll be, creating an index. If you want, you can create your own index, or else you can create something else. So we already have an index called OS. So that has been selected, and we can just proceed it. So here you're going to get the details like what type of log that you have taken and what is the device. So this is my particular device name, and the index is OS. Okay. So why do we give the index? Index is very easy for us to show what type of log it is, and easily we can track the activity of the log. So that's why we give a index. Otherwise, index is not required. We can just go and click on submit. Okay. And directly when I click on start searching, you can see it started fetching the logs. Even if you just give the name of an index over here, still we are going to get the same result. So there is no change in that. That's the advantage of having an index. So if you segregate everything into one particular index, then the analyzing of the logs become very, very easier. Now you can see everything that you notice here is a security log. So that's coming from my particular device. And you can see the device has been highlighted here. And even if you scroll down for further more details, you can see we have a lot of information like, what is a host, what is the index, from where it is coming, what type of log it is. So everything, and even you have a detail as well. The log that you have, imported, every information will be there from which particular, host the path has been detected and a timestamp. So this is normally how a log can be seen. Now, this is a particularly a raw log. Okay. Now, you may not be understanding most of the informations here, but it specifically speaks about the security log with the event code. Okay, so that is how you can index a log to your particular Splunk. Okay, this can be done for your local system. You can do it for your remote system as well. And you can see there are multiple options here as well. So depending upon the testing that you're doing, depending upon what exactly you're looking for, accordingly you can do that. I'll just show one example. If I click on source type, there is only one event, that is the Windows event log security. If I just click on this particular thing, it is going to directly add the source type here. So whatever the query that you have, because it's not that easy, like, blindly you can take something from the logs. You need some source type, you need some source. So these tools are built in such a way that most of the work is reduced, and it is going to give us the details over here. Okay, and this is how you can create your own index and take the log from your any of the devices or your own devices, whatever it could be, your application logs, security logs, doesn't matter. But this is how you do it. So that's how you create an index that is using the Splunk. Okay. And the next thing what we are going to do here is that, let's see how we can exactly perform an email integration. So email integration is also very, very important, because once you get the log, you have to share the report to somebody else, right? So for that purpose, we need an email integration part. Okay. So before doing all those things, so let me just close the rest of the things here. I'm going to open a new tab, and I'll just create a simple, email server. I'm going to just take a free SMTP server. Okay, so I'm going to use a free server for testing this particular demo, and we can notify anything, the mails that we want. I'm going to take a random mail, simplebro@mailinator.com, and we just need an inbox for that. Okay, so it's going to verify, and it's going to provide us the mailbox, like as you can see here. So what our plan is that, we are going to create our own email integration so that the logs that we get will be shown here. So that's our agenda. I'll just go back to my Splunk over here. Okay, and there are few commands that I have kept it, pre itself, so that time is reduced. First of all, I'll go to my main page, and let me open to search and reporting. So any query, so these queries that you can give, you can do it from here itself. You can see the queries gets highlighted. So this is the search field, and your Splunk software runs on SPL. So SPL is the search processing language which your tool uses. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to integrate an email. So let's go to settings, and we can see the server control. I'm going to just open it in the new tab. Okay, and here we have the email settings. So first of all, we need to integrate our email. So what we can do is that, it has already been selected. We have our mail host, or specifically, these things need to be highlighted. So in the mail field, we cannot give it as localhost. We have to change it to the email ID that we are using. So first of all, we need to check the server that we are using. That is here. That is a free SMTP server, and we are going to take this as our host name. Okay. I'm going to just copy that, and I'll paste it here. Okay. And not just that, you have to give a colon and specify the port number. Do not get confused. The port number is right here next to the SMTP server. So we have just specified that particular port. So I'll just also copy this email ID. We require this. And here we need to specify the username. So whatever the email that you have given, you just have to provide the details there. Okay, so once we give this particular detail, and we don't have any passwords or anything like that, so you can just skip this entire process. If you want, you can enable the security, but for now, we'll just skip everything and we just save. Okay. And now we have successfully integrated our email over here. And the next command that we execute is this particular thing. I'm going to take it step by step so that you don't get confused. Till here, I'll write the query, and from here, we will execute the query. So what I'm trying to do here is that I have few logs that is integrated within me. So first, let's go to the search field. And here in the search field, let me type index is equal to data. So when I type this for, let's say for all time, and let me search, I'll start getting the results, okay, like this. So the next step is I need to take a source type. So let me go to the source type and I'll take this as my source type. So there is no difference, the same thing what exactly we are doing here. And from here, I'll give the time chart, okay. So let me just copy this and I'll paste it over here. So this time chart, you can see there is one indication that we have in this particular tool. Whatever the query that gets highlighted, we call this as a syntax highlighting part. So any error, any issues, okay, will be notified here. So if you make any mistakes, these things will not be highlighted. So likewise, let's paste the next query. We need to just transfer everything to the email ID that we have given. Okay, if you notice, we have given the email, send email, that is a command. So first of all, let's paste it here. You can just put it down. So let's give enter and I'll paste it here. And you can see now, send email to a particular email ID, which means that the same email ID which we have configured and the server which we have configured. So there is no difference, and then just send out the result. So the data that you get here, same thing should be sent as a notification to our particular the server that we have configured. So just click on search and you can do this for 2 to 3 times, and within few minutes the logs will be shared to the respective email IDs that we have configured in the SMTP server. Okay. And if you just come here and you can just scroll down. Okay. You just give a okay. Now you can see we started getting the result. So that's how you can integrate. No matter where you're sitting or what you're doing, if you have to, when you're testing and if you find something suspicious, immediately you can integrate using this particular technique, email integration, and right away when you get something, the data will be shared to the concerned person. And even you can open this. Let's open the first result. Okay, and below you can see here we have the data. So this is in the HTML format. If you want a text format, you can right away click here and you can see all the data. There is no difference in the data. Whatever the information that you're getting right away here, the same thing is been shown here as well. Okay, it has just forwarded the data that we have like this. Okay, and we have multiple other options as well. You can use it as a HTML source. So this is the raw format of the data. Now this is something which is not understandable. You can see it's very confusing, and even you have a complete raw format of the data. But this is somewhere in the text format where the information is clear. So that's how you can perform the email integration using the Splunk. Okay. So we have seen how to get the logs, how to perform email integration as well for our particular thing. So let's now try and watch a brute force attack as well. A simple brute force attack log will try to analyze the data that we have, and we'll also try to go a bit detailed about the data that we are analyzing here. So let's go back here and we'll go to the home page. We can just go for search and reporting. And there are few set of commands. There's a concept of stream stats command. So stream stats command is one such command in Splunk. If you have to count the statistics of the data that we have already done. Now I'm using already attack data. So this brute force attack has already been performed. So that particular log, we are just extracting it and then we are trying to perform the analysis over there. So what we are going to do next is that let's just come here, and I'm gonna just run this first command. So let's just run this. And again, time filter is very important. Just keep it for all time and then search. Okay. So the thing that you get here is the brute force log. Even if you open and you can see, you have a host and the index, the source type, and the type of action, the signature ID. So this attack is completely for a brute force attack. So we have just taken a source in the sense the CSV file that you have uploaded, which means that the log file has details about the brute force attack. Okay, and then the host, that is my device. This attack has been performed on my particular machine itself, and then you can see the index that they have taken, that is the brute force, and then we have further got the information over here. So that's the CSV type. Okay, so let's again further change the query, and we'll run the second query over here, this statistics count. Okay, so the second query, when we have a particular statistics count, or if we have to analyze a particular statement, like if it is for a particular brute force attack, and when we search, now based on the time, based on the user, based on the action, based on the signature ID, destination, and count. So whatever the count that you have specified here, according to that, it has specified the result for us. So how many, at what particular time, who is the user, what was the action? It's a brute force attack, right? You can see there are multiple failure attempts that has been done, and there is only one successful attempt, right? So we need to analyze it further more details, because there are multiple failures and there is only one success attempt. So we need to identify based on the signature ID. So that's what this particular command speaks about here. So likewise, when we go next and when we try to further escalate the issues of the brute force, so we need to check based on the action. So this is where the streamstat commands comes into picture. So you can see this streamstat command, okay, and it's specifically for a user action, because there is only one user, and you can see there are two different actions. There is failure and there is success. So we need to again identify what exactly is going on at the background, right? So again, let's just search, and we can see specifically on a user action. So here we are not able to detect anything. Again, the result goes quite same, right? So again, we need to further analyze the thing. So again, the command changes here. So the last action, so depending on the streamstat command, I need the statistics where I am able to get the last count action. So what was the last action that was performed by user? So that is very important, like when was the last attempt taken place? Because yes, there are possibilities like, sometimes you may forget the password, and because of which it can authenticate as failure as well, failed login attempt, that is there. So that's why the last action that we need to see here. Okay, and now you can see still the things are getting complicated. But if you see the last action field, still we have one success and multiple failed attempts. Now the things are getting much more stronger for us, that it is a brute force attack, right? So everywhere we are able to see the failed attempt over here. So again, we can just check based on the action, that is failure, because now the things are getting much clearer, saying that it's a failed login attempt. Let's specifically check for the last action failure and the success action. So we will just search on that part, and now you can see we got one event as a success. Okay, so based on the count that we have given, so this count is something where it tells based on the user or the action that you have, right? So according to that, we have got the result over here. So there's only one user, Bob, and the action is success. This is the signature ID detected, and but the last action is fail. Okay, so now again, we have a much more detail about the brute force attack logs. Now we can specifically go and check the eval function. No need to understand eval function for now, but only thing is that if you have to get a specifically the failure count, because we know that now it's almost 75%, it's confirmed that it's a brute force attack, right? So we can just directly run the eval function, and that will tell us the success, right? You can see there are 5 failure counts, right? And there is only one success event. So the last count specifically says, and the things are very clear for us, like it is a part of your brute force attack. Okay, and let's now specifically run a field command. So we'll run it simultaneously. This particular log what we have, we'll run it together. So this field command, when I use a minus sign in the sense the exact last count is what I want, and I want a specific time format. Now you will not be able to understand this. This is basically a cron scheduler. Cron scheduler is basically a specific expression that you provide to understand the log statistics. So that can be a bit complicated, but this is based on a particular day, this is month, and this is the year. Okay, so I just broke down the thing, and this is the time filter. So according to that, let's just search, and now we got a clear clarity is that this is a brute force attack. Okay, so this was a company. This is the exact signature ID. It was action after 5 failure count. He was able to finally get into the action. So this was an attempt for brute force attack. Okay, so that's how normally a SOC team gets into action. Okay, now it's very important for him to understand what exactly is going on, and this is a part of your incident analysis. Okay, next very important thing is to alert generation. This is very important. You have to see how alerts can be generated. Other than that, you will not get the concept of flagging an alert. So we will quickly flag an alert for the logs that we are looking into. Okay, so I'm gonna just directly run the query. Index is equal to underscore internal, and there is one problem with Splunk is that it's very case sensitive. Now if I directly run internal and if I search, you will not get the result. Okay, I'll just show you that as well. You can see no results found. So that's why Splunk is very case sensitive. You have to specifically give you have to clearly give what exactly you are doing here. You can just give your index is equal to underscore internal, and then you can just right away search here. Okay, and now we are able to see the results, the data that we have. Okay, and the next thing is we have to specifically type a source type. So we have given a source type and we have given a component. So this again is going to further give us the result that we have, and we need to also set a message. So when we have a event message, the details that we have, we can take something on an index management part. Now all these are nothing but the workload that we have, or the details that we do get when it comes to working on the functionality of the SOC. So this result, okay, we need to set it as an alert. So whenever we set an alert, you can just go to save as and give a alert. Okay, and whatever the title that you want, you can just give it, and according to that it will trigger an alert. And then you can just go for real time, and this report expires within the 24 hours. Okay, and if you want, you can just set an action. We can just give to triggered alerts, give the priority as high, and then quickly save the filter. Okay, now it may not be giving you the result immediately, but it takes time, and when you again run the query continuously, it is going to fire an alert. So when you try to run multiple times, or if the multiple events are executing again and again, then it is going to flag an alert. So if you just go to settings and go to this option, search and reports, it is going to show the fired alerts like this. Okay, you can see it has triggered the alert as well. So once you trigger an alert, the final step for you is to document the process. Now we have seen it's a brute force attack. We have seen the data. We have seen how the alert has flagged. Immediately you have to document the report. Okay, so that's a basic understanding of how the life of a SOC analyst goes, starting from getting the logs to creating the report and documenting the aspects. Okay, so let's just get back to the presentation. So let's talk something about the career insight. So here I'm going to discuss a few important certifications that you require for the SOC role. So for level 1, we have CompTIA Security Plus, and we have Global Insurance Assurance Certified SOC Analyst certification. Then for tier 2, and again we have from GIAC, that is the Certified Incident Handler certification, and CIH, that is Certified Incident Handler again. Then for threat hunting part, we have again the certificate. This is the platform, okay, GIAC, that is Global Information Assurance Certified. So they are the platform who are going to provide these certifications on threat intelligence, and CTIA, that is Certified Threat Intelligence Analyst. Then we have Certified Information Security Professional, CISSP, or CISM, that is the Information Security Manager. Okay, and likewise again these security engineer and the SOC manager, the certification is quite similar here. So this is just a flow chart which will help you to detect the things. I have already explained the aspects. We have tier 2, these are the level of analyst, and it's an entry level profile, and what are their responsibilities and the certification that you use here. Okay, so for level 1, it's like monitoring, alert, triage, escalating the threats. All those are a part of your SOC tier 1 analyst. And SOC tier 2 is a mid-level profession. It's like you have to get more into detail, like not just taking the logs, you just have to also perform investigation, and you having CH is one of the best advantages for this profile. Then tier 3, senior most level analyst. Again, here everything comes: threat hunting, root cause analysis, performing pen testing. Everything is a part of this particular profile. And you have certain certifications like CISSP and GISS, GIAC, certified incident handler. Then other profiles like incident responder, threat hunter, SOC manager. So according to their respective workload and the professions, we have like for incident responder, we have GIS incident responding. Similarly, for threat hunting, we have threat hunting tools and MITRE ATT&CK frameworks and the skills that they have. And a security architect, depending upon the type of security infrastructure that you are testing, according to that, you have the certifications. Okay. So these are the profile, their experience level, their responsibilities, and the certifications and the skills that are required. Okay. Now, everything what I discussed, we also cover this as a part of our training as well. We discuss this everything regarding to SOC. We have our own training program with regard to the SOC. So I'm gonna just to show the things that we cover on our training aspects. So this is a simple brochure, and you can see these are the aspects that we cover. We start from a very scratch, which gives a clarity about the searching and search language fundamentals. We are going to see how reports and dashboards can be created, about lookup features and how you can create reports and alerts, how to do pivots in Splunk, how to monitor a particular file path, how to perform firewall log analysis, how to install universal forwarder, Windows log analysis, malware. So right from basic till the advanced. And not just for Splunk, we also cover QRadar as well. So QRadar is another type of software that is specifically designed for security operations center. So again, we are going to work on that two different softwares which are globally accepted. So you can see how wide is our the module has been curriculum has been designed over here. Okay, so that's the high level overview of the concepts that we cover in our training path for the Security Operations Center. Okay, and so I would like to now introduce you to our Cyber Fusion course. So in Cyber Fusion course, it's like we have the combination fusion of cyber multiple domains. So here we provide training in different domains, like we have web application, we have API, we have mobile VAPT, network VAPT, cloud security, SOC, and GRC as well. So we provide training and internship in all of these domains. Okay, and this is not just you have to start from basics and you have advanced level, then we take you to the specialization part, which means that your basic and advanced training will be provided to you, and you have the option to select the specialization that you want to pursue your training and internship part. And if you enroll it today, if you enroll to our program today for your Cyber Fusion, you are going to get the course that is the CHV12, which is of 5,000, and Bug Hunting Essentials, which is worth 15,000, completely free. So this entire course, two set of course worth 20,000 will be completely given for free of cost for you if you enroll it by today, and you have the time till 20th. So further more details, Saurabh will be able to provide. So I'll just hand it over to Saurabh. Saurabh, you there?
Yes, Chirag, hi, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yes, guys. So as Chirag explained it very beautifully, so you guys have time till 20th of December to apply for this training program. And if you want to see till 20th December, you can apply for the training program. But if you apply by today, 12 p.m. midnight, you will be getting these two courses completely free along with the main training program. So you will be just paying for the one training program, that is our main Cyber Fusion training program. But along with that, you'll be getting these two courses for completely free. One thing to note here is like this training program and this offer particularly is for the people who are registering or inquiring with us for the first time. So if you have inquired before or connected with our team member regarding this training program before, then unfortunately you are not eligible for this offer. Okay, so I request you, if you guys are this is the first time you guys are interacting or coming into a session with us, or coming to know about the training program, then you are completely eligible for this training program. I have shared the registration form link in the chat. you can just go there and apply for the training program offer from there. As right now, what I'll do, I'll just give you guys 5 minutes to fill up the form, and then we will move on to the Q&A session. Plus, Chirag already explained the benefits of this training program, but I'll try to go through that again. So within this training program, you will be getting a lot of features, okay, and a lot of benefits. So first benefit is like you will have the option to do specialization is in any choice of your field, like SOC, network security, and web application VAPT. After that, you will not just be doing the training with us, you will be also doing an advanced level internship with us. Plus, we will be providing you job placement assistance once the training program is over. Plus, our whole training program is developed and created by the industry specialists. So you just do not have to worry. The whole program is job oriented training program. Plus, there will be regular live plus recorded session. You will be getting a dedicated mentor. So anytime if you have any confusions or any queries about the what you are learning, you have to clarify anything, will have a dedicated mentor to answer all your queries. Plus, you will be getting all the certificates required once you finish the training program. And as Chirag mentioned, you will be directly working with experienced professionals working on the live projects, not some fake projects or some dummy projects. It will be live client projects. The clients who we deal with, we will be giving you some moderate level of tasks on which you will be working along with the experienced professionals. So it will be like you are in a job and getting the proper experience as well during the trainings duration. Plus, if you are interested in bug hunting also, you will be able to do bug hunting, learn bug hunting, and do bug hunting, and start to earn from there also. So by the time you finish the training program, you might be able to get uh, earn as much as like the what was the fees. Okay, we have a lot of examples where we have seen like students applying for the training program, registering, learning the bug hunting, and then earning bounties in thousands of dollars. There was one candidate, if I'm not wrong, he earned $2,000 of bounty by learning bug hunting from CyberSapiens. Saurabh, do we have offline classes for this training? See, we do have offline classes for this training, but only if you are from Mangalore, because we have our offline office in Mangalore. So if you are from Mangalore, then you can come to our office, learn from there directly. Ankita B, when it will start? See, our new batch is going to start in a week. So you have, as I said, time till today, 20th. So on 20th of December, our new batches will be starting. So as soon as you guys can apply, just apply it. If you have any question, just fill up that form, okay, and our course advisors will get in touch with you. Any questions you have regarding the training program, like fees, curriculum and all, you will come to know that on our landing pages or on our website. But regarding the cost of the training program, we will be only revealing that after you have a proper career counseling session with the with our course advisors, because it's not we see we are not like any other training program providers, okay, or any other company. First of all, as I mentioned, our training program is curated by industry professionals who are already a working professional, right? Plus, we will only be revealing or at least offering you the training program when we feel like, okay, you are the right fit for our training program. We are not just going to sell our training program or include everybody in our training program. So it's not this training program is not open for all. This is what you have to understand. If you are capable of handling this training program, and if we feel like, okay, you are the one who can keep up with the curriculum, then only we will be at least pushing you to enroll in this training program. Other than that, there is no way. Janvi Jain, can you please send all this info in mail? Janvi, if you can fill up that form that I have just shared, I'll again share it here. Okay, just fill up that form, and I will definitely request my team to send all the details on your mail. Okay, and if possible, just try to attach your name in the Sorry, email. Yes, you will be. We are asking your email in the form. So just attach your email there, and obviously we will send all the details on your mail also. But I would suggest to have a proper career counseling call with our course advisors, because that is going to benefit you also. Okay, because as I said, course advisors, we are not just going to sell our course. Okay, we will be counseling you on your current, based on your current status, like what you are currently doing, and whether cybersecurity is a fit, whether this career is a right choice for you or not. Okay, so all these kind of questions you will be getting answered in that particular session with our course advisors. Duration and course fee, Harsha, as I mentioned, course fees, this detail will only be revealed once our course advisors feel like you are the right fit for our training program. The duration is of 6 months. So if you feel like you are the right fit, then I have shared the link here. I am sharing again and again here. Just go there, fill it, and in the next 2 minutes, okay, by 8:10, we will start with the Q&A session. So you guys just have 2 minutes to fill up this form. And again, uh, this offer of two courses free along with the main training program, you will only get if you fill the form today. Okay, any forms filled after 12 p.m., yes, you will be considered for the training program. There might be some offers that we can throw out to you guys, but you might not get those two training programs for free. So make sure you fill up this form right now, and before 12 p.m., before today's midnight. Okay. Chirag, let's just give them 2 minutes. Once they fill it, then we can proceed with the Q&A session.
Yeah, sure, Saurabh.
Any other questions you have, guys, regarding internship for how many months? See, Harsha, both the training and internship is for 6 months. Okay, so once you start, let's say you enroll on this 20th of December, right? When we have our batches, so the whole process, Chirag will be able to explain it much better. But it will start like 1 week. We will take for the we will explain you how this training program is, what will be the duration, like procedure, how you will get the classes. So 1 week will go into orientation. Then after 1 week, your classes, your internship will begin. And from a low level task to high, slowly we will move on to the much integrate extreme task you will be getting on a monthly basis. Okay. So internship, again, it's of 6 months. The whole training program is of 6 months. If you know, our Cyber Fusion training program, earlier it was called Cybersecurity Internship Plus Training. So we just have renamed it, but yes, it is an internship plus training program. Okay. So we were the first company actually who brought this internship plus training program idea in this training program industry, you might say. We have been providing this kind of training plus internship for the last 5 years, and we have seen a lot of good results coming from our students who have enrolled and secured a very good package jobs in very good companies. So it's already 8:10, Chirag. I think we can get started with the Q&A. I hope you guys have posted your question on Slido. And one last time, just fill up this course registration form, training program registration form before 12 p.m. midnight. If you think you are eligible for a training program, if you think you can handle a training program, because let me tell you, it is something else. Okay. So if you think you are up for the task, then do fill that. And you have time till 20th. But if you want to grab the offers before everybody else, then fill up this form before 12 p.m. midnight. Then our course advisors will get in touch, and we'll see you from there. Okay. Yes, Chirag, over to you, man.
Yes, thank you, Saurabh. So let's get into the Q&A session, and I'll just go through this Slido. Okay. So we have few questions on Slido. So the first question is, please tell about the job roles in cybersecurity with approx salary packages. Okay. See, first thing with regard to cybersecurity job roles. Now, job roles are, now depends upon the sector that you're working. So if you are into red teaming, then we have, or the VAPT part, you can be a penetration tester, right? And if you are into blue team, that is you have SOC, or you can be, you can get into forensics domain, and then even you have something on compliance part as well. So you can be a GRC professional, you can get into risk management thing, or if you're specifically into network, then you can work as a network engineer, network security professional. You can get into cloud security. Now the domain is huge. Cybersecurity is a huge domain, and you have lot of sub domains like this. If you're specifically into web application pen testing, then you have that. You can also go for network, then you have cloud, then you have API, right? So the sectors are huge. Whichever you want, whichever you feel that you have the skill set, right skill set for that, then you will be getting into that particular field. And salary, salary packages are, I can just give you a overview of salary package. It's not that I can specifically tell you, but the salary structure is very good, specifically in when it comes to the cybersecurity domain. And it depends from the company to company, the sector to sector. And the main part is, before you think about salary or the job role, the first thing that you have to focus is the skill set. If you have the right skill set, if you are in the right profession, then definitely the pay is also very high. So that is what I can say for this question. Will we be getting a certificate after this masterclass? Yes, you will be getting the certificates. And when will this start? I think Saurabh has given answer to that. I'm from a non-technical background, don't even have much knowledge about the technical field. Will it be possible for people like this to get success in this field? Definitely yes. Do not even have that confusion that I'm from a non-technical background, or I do not have any technical skills. Doesn't mean that. So this is the biggest myth that we have in cybersecurity, that only people with coding skills can get into cybersecurity. No, that's absolutely wrong. Even people in having technical skills, yes, you are free to join this particular sector, because you have, when you're into coding, then the best thing is for pen testing and VAPT aspects, so you can go for that. And even it is for malware analysis part, you can do that. But even for non-technical people also, yes, cybersecurity is the right choice for you. You have even other sectors as well. Now SOC doesn't need any technical background. You need certain fundamentals of networking, and then you can right away get into the SOC profession, right? So similarly, you have forensics. So it depends, like even technical person can get into the field of cybersecurity, and even non-technical person also can get into cybersecurity. If you feel that I'm not a technical guy, I cannot handle any technical aspects, then again you have compliance part, you have GRC profile. It's completely about auditing part, right? You can get into this particular profession as well. So yes, shall we get the presentation in the email that Saurabh will get in touch with on that part? So what to do when I want to become a CISO and explain about CISO more? Okay. So if you want to become a CISO, and CISO is like Chief Information Security Officer, so it's a very high level profile. So you have to first crack the certification. Now CISO is not just it covers everything in the core aspect of cybersecurity from A to Z. Whatever is required in this field of cybersecurity domain, everything should be known by a CISO, because CISO is a very high level profile. In a particular organization, he is the final decision maker, right? So which means that he should understand every core part of the sector that he is handling. So that is why CISO, you have a lot of certifications on CISO as well. EC Council provides the CISO certification, and so you can definitely go ahead with that as well. So main thing is you have to get in touch with every aspect. You should be knowing the technical part, you should be knowing the compliance part, auditing, GRC, everything should be very clear to you if you want to get into this particular profile, that is the CISO. Okay, so I think I have answered that question. So required skills for CISO, I've already mentioned it. Will you provide placement? Yes, we do provide job placement as well. Whenever once you get into our training and internship program, we will take your resume, we will check your resume, and we will also correct your resume. We will see that your job is up to the current job industry. We will make all the changes, and we will also take mock assessment for you, so that we will take a real-time interview for you. So you have to be it's like we are training you from scratch. We will make you a job professional, like you are ready to face the job interview. So we will take that, and not just that, we will also provide you placements. If we will be adding you to our job placement group, so any openings, any updates will be updated there, and you can apply for the profession. So first of all, before getting into job, your resume should be reviewed. So that will be done by us. We will take the interview, and then we will also help you in give you the further assistance on how you can get into the job part as well. Okay. Okay. So did I miss anything? Which language is best for cyber security and which language companies use in present? So cyber security, see, as I said, now profile to profile it differs. Like, if you are into completely coding skills or technical part and all, again, you might require skills like Python, Java, all these aspects need to be clear on your end. So if you are into a different profession, then again, depending on the profile, now SOC has a different skill set. VAPT is totally different from SOC. You cannot compare two skill sets for one per, or two, for this particular domain. So if it is SOC, SOC has its own skill set. So whatever I explained, so you should be knowing the fundamentals, network aspect. So those are the basics. Likewise, if you're going for pen testing, then you might have to require some coding skills as well. You might should be knowing pen testing, the Python languages, Bash scripts, So all these, Bash scripting should be known to you all. Like if you want to be a very expert level, coder or tester, then you might require that. And specifically when it comes to cloud, again, the requirement is totally different when it comes to cloud as well, right? So depending on the profile, your these skill sets will change. Okay, so specific to company we cannot highlight. Depending on their requirement, the profile will be highlighted. So I think I've answered that. Is it possible to secure job in cybersecurity without purchasing costly certifications and other training with enough of knowledge related to job role? See, specifically when we speak about certifications, certifications are required to enhance your secure, the skill set that you have. But another aspect, if you say that, costly certifications is like, it's not necessary you have to go for costly certifications, but there is the content that it's delivered. So that is very important, that is what I can say when it comes to certifications. First, look for the contents. Pricing is secondary, because when you have, if you feel like all the contents have been covered in the respective certifications that you're doing, because ultimately you're going to give the money to that particular certification. So that's very important. If every requirement is satisfied, research on that particular content, research on what exactly you're doing, what certification you want to hold, and then step into. Don't just go and directly take the certifications. That may not help you out. Okay, so it's not about costly certification. It's like the skill set that you require, and if you're covering every details, then you can decide based on that, and you can select the right certification. Okay, and second thing is skill set. So skill set is very, very important when you are no matter what profile you are, then you need the skill set as well. Okay, so like in that way you can select the respective certification. Sir, can you please tell the fee structure of the course? So for that, as Saurabh said, you have to first register, and our course advisors will get in touch with you. They will have a talk with you, and after that, all the other details will be specified to you. Okay. So anything else? Yeah, that's it. I think I have answered all the questions here. Anything else? No. Okay. So here is the feedback form. So I just request you people to just and fill the feedback for today's masterclass webinar. So, Saurabh?
Yes, Chirag. So,
Yeah.
guys, I think we are at the end of this amazing masterclass taken by Chirag. I hope you guys really like this masterclass. Okay. And if you have any other queries, this is the last time. You have 1 more minute to ask the question. You can ask your question directly in the chat here if you have any other queries. If not, then I request you guys to fill up the feedback form. Okay. Again, I'll tell you, because it is really hard for us to bring these free master classes, free webinars every month for you. Okay, because our mentors, analysts are very busy. Okay, they have to make out a time for this webinar to teach you guys these advanced level stuff. I can guarantee this level of advanced stuff that you learn in this 2 hour webinar. Though we promise it will be a 1 hour webinar, we over deliver and give you a proper 2 hour webinar, and that too a detailed webinar, advanced webinar on a certain topic. So you can understand how hard it is for us to deliver such content for free. But we are committed to delivering it, and we will be keep doing it. So stay tuned for the next month masterclass. Also, we will have something great coming for you guys. So that will be announced soon. Till then, you guys can. I request you guys from my heart to fill up this feedback form. give your feedbacks here, and your feedbacks mean a lot to us. If you can make the feedback long, then that's good. We would like to share that on our social media handles, show people that yes, people who are joining our master classes really find it helpful. So more and more people will come to know, okay, these helpful things are there. That there is a company like CyberSapiens who is really committed to helping cybersecurity enthusiasts in their learning journey. So I'll share this feedback form in the chat here, plus in the WhatsApp group also that we are a part of. So do make sure to fill up that. Yes, Chirag, I think that's it. Venkatesh, fee structure, I'll tell you, just fill up that form. I'll request our course advisors to get in touch with you by Monday. And yes, once they assess whether you are capable or interested to join in the training program, it will definitely be shared. Okay. So yes, guys, I think this is a goodbye. Chirag, some final words, then we will wrap up.
Yeah, first of all, I think as Saurabh mentioned, this masterclass is definitely going to help you out, and I believe that I have delivered to my maximum, expertise that I have. Even though it's not just about advanced thing, but no, I have covered every scratch of the things that you need to know to get into this Security Operations Center. Definitely, please, enroll to our training program, and I promise you that you will learn the best from this training program. Yeah. That's what I would like to say. Yes, Saurabh.
Oh, okay, guys. Okay, thanks a lot, Chirag. Thanks a lot for this
Yes.
amazing masterclass, and thank you guys for being in this masterclass for more than 2 hours. Not more than, but yes, approximately 2 hours. Okay, we are closing before 8:30, so it's less than 2 hours. So we will just wrap this up, close it up, and see you in the next masterclass. Just stay tuned, be in our group, and we'll see you guys. Okay, bye bye. Till next time.